Doom 2016, released May of 2016. Available on all modern platforms. Retailing for $19.99. This was the first in a new series of Doom games, being an attempt to stay somewhat true to the original Doom in Doom 2, while also moving the series forward with slightly more modern sensibilities in some ways. And this was clearly successful, as the game received excellent sales, rewards, and has spawned 2 sequels since. The game begins with our hero breaking out of a stone sarcophagus. He picks up a gun, puts it to immediate use, finds his armor in the next room, and is quite ready to start about his work. However, he is contacted by Samuel Hayden, who will be a constant presence in the game, and sounds like Discount James Spader.
And resolve this problem in a way that benefits us both.
However, at this point, after a few words, the Doomslayer's done with this conversation, and begins about his work. His work, of course, being eliminating any demon unlucky enough to be found by him. And that is the majority of the game, simply taking out your frustrations on demons. And this game introduced the idea of glory kills to the series. Do some damage to a demon, it starts flashing. Hit it with a melee attack to see it taken out in a spectacular fashion, and it will drop a little health, and sometimes ammo. This mechanic would stick around for the sequels, and only be improved. If you have played the sequels, you will notice something missing from the combat. Demons don't have particular weak points or weaknesses, so you can't take out a Cacodemon by throwing a grenade at it, or take out the cannons on the back of a Revenant. Every demon is simply taken out by you putting enough rounds into it, and that makes the combat feel very reminiscent of the original Doom games. The vast majority of demons on offer are also based on the demons from Doom 1 and 2, and the redesigns are such that you immediately recognize everything for exactly what it's supposed to be. You'll also notice that combat encounters are not quite as hectic as they become in the sequels, as demons are not quite as numerous, and generally speaking, there is enough ammo that you won't need to change weapons if you don't want to. As the game goes on, you will find yourself being forced to listen to expositionary dialogue, which seems very odd, as right at the beginning you had that cut off so you could get right to the action. But then later you find out that Samuel Hayden is a robot who's quite content to trap you in rooms to force you to listen to him prattle on.
Is pure Argent energy you've just taken into your system. It seems to agree with you.
And I wonder if this is meant to be him getting revenge on the Doomslayer, as Samuel Hayden is an evil businessman that has decided the best way to deal with an energy crisis is to siphon energy out of hell. And he realizes that things have gone wrong. So he'd like the Doomslayer to take care of things with as little damage to company property as possible. But at every turn, the Doomslayer goes out of his way to just completely destroy what this company has been working on, which honestly is probably the right thing to do. So I'm wondering if him inflicting the story upon the Doomslayer is actually him trying to get a little bit of revenge. As he can't get rid of the Doomslayer, because who would do the slaying? But he can get a little bit of revenge by annoying him. As you go through levels between your demon slaying, you will find a lot of collectibles and secrets. Upgrade tokens for your suit. These can improve your auto map and improve your resistance to environmental hazards. Tokens that can upgrade your armor, health, or ammo. Weapon mods. Each weapon has 2 mods that you can choose from. And Funko Pops of the Doomslayer in different colors. As stated, each weapon has 2 different mods, and when you find a weapon mod, you get to select which weapon and which mod you're getting. You also get weapon points from slaying demons, and can further upgrade each mod until you unlock a challenge for each mod. And completing a challenge doesn't just give you a cosmetic, it actually improves the weapon in some way. Though not all of these bonuses are created equal. The plasma rifle in particular, with its heat blast mod, becomes ridiculous when you beat its challenge. Overall, Doom 2016 is easier than its sequels and considerably less frantic. But it's also more straightforward, as it doesn't have any of the gimmicks present in the later games. This even applies to the bosses in the game. of which there are several, and all of them simply require you to pump enough rounds into them to finish the fight, while dancing around their various attacks. And honestly, I think a little more could have been done with them to make them stand out from one another. But at the same time, had they done anything different, it would have really ruined the homage to the earlier games they were so clearly doing. What is odd is the amount of story that's there to be found if you actually go looking for it, as dotted around every map you will find logs filled with information, and in some cases even audio logs. But I'm not really sure how this tale of corporate corruption and the brilliant idea to siphon energy out of hell is adding anything to the game, as easily the worst parts when you're actually playing the game are when you're trapped in a room and have to listen to Samuel Hayden monologue for a set amount of time before you can just move on. As I really think the beginning had it right. Can we just punch him in his robot face and move on to slaying some demons, please? So is Doom 2016 worth your time and money? Well, it retails for $20 on every platform, so absolutely, yes it is. However, I do think if you're planning to play Doom 2016, you should play it before Doom Eternal and Doom the Dark Ages. At least if that is an option that is still available to you, as the success of its sequels do make it likely that you've played them at some point before this game. As while Doom 2016 is an amazing experience, those two games expand upon the experience, making Doom 2016 seem limited in comparison. It's a situation that's rather similar to the Batman Arkham games. However, if it's already too late and you've played Doom the Dark Ages and you're just looking for something else in a similar vein, you can't really go wrong with picking up Doom 2016. You just need to be aware that certain features of Doom the Dark Ages are not going to be present in this earlier game. And if you're on the fence about spending a whole $20 on a game, Doom 2016 goes on sale frequently on digital storefronts, sometimes for less than $5. So yes, I absolutely recommend Doom 2016 on whatever platform you prefer. Please do subscribe, comment, like, and tell your friends.
You've won. It's over. You stopped the invasion and closed the portal. But it's come at a price. Argent, Vega, this entire operation. You see, I've watched you work, come to understand your motivation. You think the only way is to kill them all, leave nothing behind. And you may be right. But we can't just shut it all down. Without Argent energy, it will be worse. I don't expect you to agree. But with this, we can continue our work. I am not the villain in this story. I do what I do because there is no choice.
Rerouting tether coordinates complete.
Our time is up. I can't kill you, but I won't have you standing in our way.